your life. Welcome to Christ One Ministries presents 411, Episode 2, The Spirit of Legion versus the Calling of David. Welcome to another episode of Christ One Ministries, where our journey is all about getting closer to God and having Yeshua, Jesus Christ, as the number one priority in our lives. What happens when a man is loved, praised, celebrated, and then suddenly hated? This is the story of David. This is the story of Saul. This is the story of every man who has been love-bombed, discarded, slandered, and left in a cave to question his worth. This is my story. This is your story. Saul has slain his thousands, but David his tens of thousands. First book of Samuel, chapter 18, verse 7. That one song changed everything. Saul had loved David, brought him close, made him family, gave him a wife, let him play his harp, and gave him power. But underneath Saul's embrace was something darker: jealousy, insecurity, and a spirit that entered him the moment David started to shine. And Saul eyed David from that day forward. First book of Samuel 18, verse 9. This is how narcissistic love begins. It starts with affection, admiration, gifts you never expected was coming your way, opportunities you thought would never come your way. Then comes the shift, the silent treatment, the backhanded insults, the gaslighting, the control. Saul threw spears at the very one he called son. What causes someone to become a narcissist? Narcissistic personality disorder doesn't just appear. It's cultivated in the soil of childhood. Some are overpraised. Some are ignored. Some are abused. Some are betrayed. Either way, the result is the same: a soul that refuses to feel pain again, so it becomes pain for others. When does it begin? Between ages 2 to 7, identity is formed. By teenage years, the traits begin. By adulthood, it's a weapon. Are they aware? Are narcissists aware? Yes. Not always at first, but eventually. They know when they lie. They know when they twist. And they know when they charm to disarm. But pride makes them believe they're righteous in doing it. Just like Saul, he threw the spear, then blamed David for ducking. What does a narcissist feel when they win? Control, pleasure, power, and an addictive rush that keeps them seeking more victims. They don't feel loved, they feel feared. They feel they don't feel safe. They feel dominant. Let's talk about the gangs, the spirits, the behaviors. Inspired by the film The Warriors, one of my favorite classics, each gang represents a narcissistic strategy. The Lizzies, love bombers, seductive, flattering until they strike. Next, the Turnbull ACs, rage. These are the behaviors they do. And public explosions. They drive on that. The orphans, they're the flying monkeys. They have weak minds, but they're used to attack you. These are people they send after you. The hi-hats, religious narcissists, praise in public, poison in private. The furies, emotional abusers, withholding affection and punishing in silence. That can go on for weeks, months, years. And you still suffer in that silence. These gangs are the spirits behind the spirit of Saul. Now, the cave. David therefore departed thence and escaped to the cave of Adullam. The first book of Samuel, chapter 22, verse 1. Rejected by Saul, misunderstood by family, isolated from everyone, David ran. And there, in that cave, other broken men came to him. Everyone that was in distress, and everyone that was in debt, and everyone that was discontented, gathered themselves unto him. These were the wounded warriors. These were the fathers who lost everything. These were the men in caves for years. And now, men with no church, no wife, no identity, just spears in their backs, songs they'll never hear again. But in that cave, David became Saul. He became a leader. He prayed. He wrote songs to his Lord. And he trained warriors who were wounded to stay strong. and he honored God. This is the blueprint. This is a map of the cave. Can Christians be narcissists? Yes. Religion's a mask. Yeah, you can be on the pulpit and still be a soul inside. Have we not prophesied in your name? And in your name done many wonderful works? Depart from me. I never knew you. Matthew chapter 7, verse 23. Saul had the title, but not the spirit. Can a narcissist raise another narcissist? Yes. Narcissism runs like a curse through generations. Children raised in homes of control either become narcissists, become empaths, or lose themselves entirely. Without healing it, it's gonna continue. How do we help men trapped in narcissistic marriages? You give them language. You give them scripture. You give them a community. And you remind them you're not weak for walking away from abuse. You're not crazy for loving deeply. You are not called to be a slave in the name of submission. The church must rise. We must stop platforming performers. We must stop confronting patterns. We must stop excusing Saul and start empowering Davids. Because there are men in caves who are still called. There are prophets in prisons who still have a message. These are fathers who haven't seen their children, but God has seen them. This message is not just for men in suits. It's for warriors in hiding. It's for pastors who cry in silence. It's for men who have been lied on, left out, and locked down. You may be in a cave, but you are still chosen, still anointed, still alive. Let the Saul spirit fall, and let the David within rise. This is your awakening. This is your war cry. This is your 411. Thank you for joining us on this spiritual journey with Christ One Ministries. To stay connected and explore more about deepening your faith, find us on YouTube and Facebook. Remember, in every aspect of life, live, love, and laugh, and let Christ be number one in your life.